Well, I'm going to pick up where I left off. The reason why it's taken me so long to get back is some nut job cut the trunk. They vandalized the main line. But we got it back, so we're okay. So, see if we can't get this done today. The good thing I stopped with both sides of the wing, covered. If it had sat overnight, I'd have had a potato chip. I thought this was K&S silkspan, but it's not. It's Sterling silkspan, 15 cents a sheet, $3.97 for 25. It's a little older than that. Okay, we're not going to screw up and hit it with dope first. We're going to hit it with water first. Let's open that up. I have a problem with it. Come on now. Yep, glad to have the internet back. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Barry. Let me change the view. Get a little better idea. Okay, we got no dope on it yet, just water. So if we make a mistake, I can take it off without a problem. Of course, you can take it off without a problem with dope on it, but it just makes it easier. I washed the brush out, but it's hard. A little acetone will straighten it out. Hopefully, after seeing me do this at least 100 times, of course, I don't know. I don't build 100 airplanes. You only do this about 2-3 times a year. The channel has been in existence since about 11 years, so at least 30 times. You can see how easy it is. It's really simple to get a perfect job every time. I see a lot of poor jobs doing silkspan because it wasn't done this way. Because you got to keep in mind, silkspan does not shrink. Everybody thinks that it shrinks, but it does not shrink. It relaxes. It grows. So if you pull it tight when it grows, or pull it tight when you wet it and it's grown, when it dries, it goes back to its normal state. It'll be tight. If that makes sense, which it should. Okay, around the tips. Now, while it's pretty malleable, it doesn't want to go around. If this was an open bay tip, I could get it to go around and be tight, but it's a solid tip, so it has no pull in it, so I'm going to have to cut it. But that's okay, because it'll sand and yeah, we won't cut it, we'll just tear it. Hang on a second. In case you didn't know, the internet's on again.
I was going to tell you.
I'm online yet. Yeah. If you tear this seam just like this, you can't see it. If you cut it and make it a straight line, you could see it. Now I cut the seams on the trailing edge because I cut it flush with the top side of this. And then when I do the top side, I bring around and cut the bottom side. And of course sand it, and it takes that sharp edge off. But leading edges are a different story. You just tear it and it'll be fine, because it's going to get folded over on the bottom back quite a bit. Okay, we got it. And it just disappears. This is such a simple, easy thing to do. But a lot of people struggle with it for some reason. So we'll give it another coat here. And then wipe it in. Yeah, God. Tomorrow we'll start with the white. I think the next step on this is to lay out the fuselage. While I'm building the fuselage, I'll be finishing this wing coat a day. Okay, let's cut this off. I guess I could take some sandpaper. Don't want to cut very good, so we'll do it that way. Danny, if you're watching this, you need to get out there and finish that job you started 3 years ago. Okay. All right, that's that side. You got to get on it quick. It's bowing. She's a bowing. We got to get on it quick. Okay. She's a bowing. I always have one that gives me a problem. Now, if you don't get it tight here, it won't stay tight. The weather will change and you'll bag it up. Thank you, Stomper. You have to get it tight to start with. Now look at that. That looks beautiful. Got a nice shape to that leading edge. Okay. So how long did it take to cover one side? 30 minutes, 25 minutes. So it's about a 2-hour job, I suppose, because you got to cover the flaps and all that. What do we got going on? You got to ask Steve that. Steve is the judge. I'll ask him, but dope silk never stops shrieking if you use taunting dope, but if you use non-taunting dope, it doesn't shrink as bad. I can tell you that much. The A1690 number instead of the 9701. So the dope, the clear dope everybody uses the 9701 with the 9703 thinner. But if you use the A1690 non-taunting crystal clear dope, like I do, I used to use 9701 until I figured it out that it yellows. So I called the factory and they said, well, we put it on there so they could tell where they painted it. Well, they could tell where they painted it if they opened their eyes. Damn. Right in the dirt. Right in the dirt. Okay. Okay, bedtime. Good night. Thank you for coming. Never bedtime at Stunt Hangar. I'm up all hours of the night doing this nonsense. Okay, let's see. We can't do this. Boy, these blades are shit. Once they get any dope on them, they're garbage. So if you notice right in the center, I got overlapped carbon and overlapped tissue on both sides. So there's 4 layers in the center right there to hold that wing together. Of course, there's bracing on the inside along with superfill and that's better. You guys do what you want, but this is the way I do it. even on a profile. Let's hope it's straightened out. It's working on it. It don't take much to warp it. Yeah. Yep, straightened out. Pretty damn close now. By the time it dries, it'll be straight. Now, it's an exact opposite thing that you think. Let me show you here. It took me a while to figure this out. If I spray it on this side, which way is it going to warp? Is it going to warp up this way or down that way? Can you tell me? I'll give you a hint. It's exactly opposite of how you think. Might have a problem there. Might have to aqua green that. So, if you wet it on this side, it's not going to warp down. It's going to warp up. And you say, let's see, wait a minute. Is that right? Now you got me confused. Let's see if I wet it on this side, it does warp down. It relaxes. It doesn't shrink. It relaxes. So you got to wet it on the other side to let them both relax at the same pace. And try to keep the same amount of dope on each side. So if you got 4 coats on this side, make sure you got 4 coats on the other side. Otherwise, it'll warp. And that's especially true with flaps and elevators, or stabilizers, because this has more structure in it than a solid piece of wood. It has more engineering, so it'll stay straighter. Remember, force the dope through the tissue down into the wood. That's what gives you the bond. That way you're not picking the paper up when you're sticking tissue down. You want at least 60% thinner. So the first 3 coats will go on the airplane 50-50. The next coats, this is about 60-40. But I'm going to add more thinner in it, so it'll be 70-30. So I'll fill this up again and paint the whole thing. Fill it up with thinner. After this dries, kind of just wants to live on the floor today. I would say that turned out pretty good. Pretty good. We got 40 minutes in. So I got this done. I'll end this video and I'll come back maybe later this evening after I clear all this mess off, and we'll lay out the fuselage. All I can do is hope just off a little. Should come back straight. Perfect. This is pretty wet. This wing all complete with 3 coats of dope on it, and the flaps and the horn should be 15 ounces. Ready to install. Without any paper or any dope on it, it was 13.5 ounces. Everything. Tip box, everything as seen. So I'm figuring this airplane's going to be no more guaranteed than 62 ounces, because I'll stop painting at 62. And 62 is too heavy. But I'd like to have it in the 58-ounce range, but you can't do it with these lumber wagons. There's just too much wood. Too much heavy wood. I mean, if you had 3.5 pound wood, it might be all right. I think I'm gonna spray this side and let them dry together. Yeah, we'll let them dry together. So that's going to do it for this evening, or for this video. It took, the other video was about 45 minutes long, so it took an hour and a half to cover it up. And when it dries, I'll sand these tips and we'll give the whole thing a coat of dope. When this turns white, like that side, it'll be dry that we can cover the whole thing. So it'll get 3 coats of brush dope and then 3 coats of spray dope, and that'll be ready to go. We're gonna go with the white paint here shortly. Probably the next, when I paint the whole thing, it'll get tinted white, so we get rid of this darker gray, because the airplane is going to be that green that I use on my canopies, which is Bob Brookins green. It's a pearl green with a 1950s pea green from like a 53 Chevy. The Bel Air 53 Bel Air was a pea green. It's a pastel color from the 50s. Yep, there it is. It's straightened up. So if it dries together, it'll be straight. Alrighty, like, subscribe, and share if you like this type of content. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chat, the Stomper. Those are always helpful. Really helpful. Keep me interested. Alrighty, we'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.